Thanks today for joining us to our presentation. So I'll presenting our study exploring sexual desire of cohabiting millennial couples with technology. First of all, I will talk a bit about the why behind this research and what is sexual desire, some related research as well. And then I will talk about our approach and findings, and then mainly focusing on different roles that technology could play in supporting sexual desire. And then I'll give a brief summary and some points for future research. So why this research? Cohabiting millennials in the EU have been reporting that they experience a lower sexual desire compared to previous generations. But then on the other hand, they really want to engage in sex more often. So there's this discrepancy. It's important to address this because the satisfaction about the experience level of sexual desire is really important for the kind of overall relationship satisfaction, but also personal well-being. And while we know that technology can have a negative impact, but research also shows that it can have a positive impact or support sexual well-being and expression. But HI research never really explored how tech can support sexual desire, more the kind of mental side of sexuality, which our work has been focusing on. And I'll tell a bit more about sexual desire and what it is. So sexual desire is more a motivational state, urge to engage in sexual interactions or achieve sexual intimacy. It's driven by biological, psychological, and social cultural factors. And it's a dynamic state, and it can really range from aversion to excitement. And challenges in sexual desire and discrepancy between partners has been kind of seen by research, but also the media and society as a problem that needs to be solved. And this is more like the medical model to kind of look at this. And this leads to unrealistic expectations and coping difficulties. And this while just fluctuations in individual desire are really natural and common. And this kind of makes, some form of desire discrepancy almost an unavoidable aspect in any relationship at some point. And this desire discrepancy and other challenges with sexual desire is most of the cited concerns for couples. And we know that individual well-being, communication, and intimacy are really important for creating a safe space in the relationship to then explore new things and take risks together. And that this is really important in stimulating desire. But many people struggle with this, mainly because of habituality. People are on the couch at night watching Netflix and are distracted by technology. They have a perception of limited time. They experience stress, and this limits the space to initiate or to even feel sexual desire. So there's a really interesting opportunity to explore if and how tech could be an enabler rather than a barrier. And there has been some HCI research on sexual desire, but so there's some around requirements for designing for sexual desire, and it shows some insights on interactions or patterns to use to design for sexual desire, but really needs user input. And then there are some design proposals, but they mostly focus on non-sexual intimacy, for example, interpersonal sharing by shared embodiment, or it focuses really on sexual arousal in the moment and tools for pleasure and tactile stimulation. And they may all possibly have a positive impact on sexual desire, but this and any underlying mechanisms are not investigated. We just don't know what works and what doesn't. So that's why we focused on looking at opportunities in technology to playfully explore pleasurable interactions aimed at promoting sexual desire. And to approach this, we conducted 2 studies. We conducted an anonymous online survey, and we did interviews with sketching activities as well to have a deeper understanding of people's needs, and also how those would translate in design opportunities. And we recruited through social media. We took a snowballing approach, and we wanted to recruit a diverse group of people. And we recruited mostly heterosexual men and women, the majority without children and in relationships with a length of somewhere between 2 and 8 years mostly. And the survey was completed by 77 people. Based on the survey, we created data-driven personas, which we used in the interviews with the sketching activities, and the participants had the choice to kind of choose a persona and hide behind the persona, or just to give their own perspectives. And afterwards, the participants reviewed each other's sketches anonymously to kind of deepen the requirements as well. And we recruited 4 new participants as well to do short interviews to review the sketches with them as well, to kind of validate whether the needs were generalizable. We did a thematic analysis, and we found 5 themes. And I don't have time to go through all of these, so we'll pick out 2 and discuss these really briefly. So the first one, keeping in step with a changing other, was more about that after the initial years of a relationship, people really felt that their partner and their desires were well known, resulting in kind of fewer efforts to discover new things together. And this while their needs changed along the years. And they also had conflicting views about sexual desire, that it's something that they needed to work on, but also something that should occur spontaneously. And they wanted more spontaneous moments, but they kind of ended up waiting for something to happen. And they felt that this aspect was something technology could help with and could kind of work as an enabler of facilitator of unplanned and unexpected encounters. So, for example, technology could provide spontaneous prompts to create or encounter possibility, things like providing ideas or gestures to do to a partner, or planning dates, or doing small actions, things like that. Or it could be embedded in a larger system of interconnected interactions that couples can build on in individual ways and kind of control or create a playful communication or sensory experience. The only pitfall with this is that kind of brings up the issue of consent, as technology is kind of the facilitator, and needs both partners to consent to being exposed to new ideas and if they're open for that. So we need to think how to build in ongoing consent. The other theme was more about sexual health knowledge, and participants had a lack of suitable resources to explore sexual desire, and this led to less inspiration and difficulty continuing their sexual conversation together, which made it difficult for them to then create space and initiate sex. And they thought that technology could play a nice role here as a teacher to kind of support them in learning new things, and learn by doing or learn by reflecting, such as providing triggering questions or scenarios that they could think or fantasize about, or very practical ways of discovering things related to sexual desire by carrying out really concrete or step-by-step, very explicit actions, for example. And they thought that personalization was really important in this, as they thought it was really personal how invasive or safe this should feel for people, if it should be boundary pushing or not. And they also thought that because their desire ebbs and flows naturally, machine learning could really help in this, in kind of refining their needs along the way. But a pitfall of this is also that we need to really be conscious with machine learning and personalization that technology is not dictating what is healthy or a good sex life, and we really need value sensitive design for this. For more results, you can read our paper. And learn more about the implications and other pitfalls that I haven't named yet. So in a quick summary, we took a qualitative and participatory approach in exploring how technology can support sexual desire of millennium couples that live together. And this was the first attempt in HCI sexuality research to explore areas and contexts and ways that technology could help millennials with feeling sexual desire. Trying to formulate foundational principles for future design. And we hope we contributed also to more understanding of how to conduct HCI sexuality research and what is helpful in this or what is really difficult. So future research, the sample unintendedly was really heterosexual and binary, and we would like to explore in future research whether findings would also extend to other generations and sexualities. And in this, we really need dedicated research to explore the needs of queer individuals, as research suggests also that this group really has a unique position and unique challenges as well in relation to sexuality. Future research should also explore how the principles can be integrated in design and validate if they actually do promote sexual desire. And then in this, investigating how to handle consent and privacy of data as well. Many thanks to the UCL Interaction Center for making this research happen. And also many thanks to Aneesha and Dilisha for your sharp insights and support and perseverance. And of course, all the participants who opened up about a very sensitive and personal topic and shared really valuable thoughts and ideas.